Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. This week's video, I want to do a review on all of the parts I put on my R35 GTR. Now, I've had this car for about 2 years now, and over that time, I've been slowly making upgrades and changes. And I want to discuss really how good are they and are they worth the money? Now, if you haven't been following the channel, I do an install video for every part I put on this car. So if you see a part on this video that you want to put on your car, pay attention. I will be putting banners above my head as well as links in the description down below. So if it's something you're interested in doing, just click on those links and it'll take you to the video and you can see how difficult the install is and whether or not that's something you want to do on your car. But with that being said, all of the reviews I've done on these parts so far were done right as I installed them, which I'm not exactly sure is fair because, right then it's a new shiny toy and it's super awesome and great. But now, I've actually put some miles on these parts, some of them quite a few miles because this is my daily driver. And I would like to update you on whether or not I think these parts are worth it for the money that they're being charged. However, before we get started, two things. One, if you do like automotive, particularly GTR content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And two, if you'd like to support the channel, I do have the JD Archer shop. If you go to jdarcher.bigcartel.com, you can see a limited selection of hats, t-shirts, and hoodies I've designed that are for sale. But with that out of the way, let's start talking about some of the parts I put on this car. I'd like to start this video with what I feel was the best bang for the buck modification I've done to this car since I've bought it. And that was a master brake cylinder brace. Now, if you're not aware, the R35 GTR is notorious for kind of having a spongy brake pedal feel. And the reason why is it has a very soft firewall. So when you slam on that brake pedal, it puts pressure against the master brake cylinder, which is attached to the firewall, and the firewall will flex. And that's why you have that spongy brake pedal feel. Fortunately, Torque Solution, for about $200 to $300, has released a brake brace. Now, underneath this cover, you will see the master brake cylinder right there. Now, down in here, you can see the brake brace, and what it does is it braces the master brake cylinder against another portion of the body of the car. That way, when you slam on the brakes, it's not only the firewall holding the master brake cylinder, it's also against that brace, and it's got nowhere to move. As soon as I installed this part, immediately the spongy brake pedal feel went away. It gave me a nice crisp feel. Not only that, but the brake system seemed a lot more responsive. This is the one modification I recommend for anybody who owns a GTR, even if you want to keep it stock, because it immediately improved the drivability of the car. As a slight side note for the rest of the video as well, if you see any part in this video that you want for your car, I will leave links for them in the description down below. So if you see something you want to do to your car, just check the description, look for the part, there'll be a link that takes you exactly where you need to go to get that. Since we just talked about the master brake cylinder brace, I figured might as well talk about the brakes themselves. As you can see, these are not the stock rotors that came with the R35 GTR. The stock rotors from Nissan are actually cross-drilled, where these are just slotted. Now, I can definitely recommend if you ever need to change out your rotors, don't buy the Nissan rotors. And this is for two reasons. One, the cross-drilled rotors actually have an issue in that over time, due to heat and use, you're going to develop stress fractures where the cross drills are that will actually compromise the integrity of the rotor. The other reason why you don't want to buy Nissan is they are just stupidly expensive. When I bought this particular car, I got a PPI from Nissan and they told me that I needed to replace the rear rotors and pads, and they quoted me $4,500 for just the rear brakes. That's absolutely ridiculous. Fortunately, there's a company out there called Speed by Design. They do a rotor and pad combo for about $1,200 for the whole car. And for the most part, I think it's worth it. Now, if you take a look at the rotors, they're not drilled, they're slotted, which means they're gonna have more integrity and they're not gonna fail. I have been daily driving this car and it does have a full day on the track, and these rotors have no issues whatsoever. There's no warpage, there's no lip. These rotors are handling amazingly well. The brake pads, however, are another story. Now, from my personal experience, I've been having issues with them. The stock Nissan brake pads are known to squeak because they are a high-performance brake pad. Speed by Design released their brake pads that are supposed to be perfectly quiet with no squeaking, but you do sacrifice a little bit of the performance. They're not quite as bitey. However, these brake pads have squeaked on me since day one, and loudly, to the point that I've actually taken the brake pads out a couple times, reapplied brake quiet to the back of the pads, reinstalled them, hoping to get rid of that squeaking, and it just won't go away. Now, I can definitely say that Chris, who makes these pads, who's a good guy, he's done a lot for the GTR community, did release these with the idea that it'd be a budget-friendly pad that doesn't make any noise. And for the most part, most people seem to think that they're quiet. However, there are a slight handful of us, and by a slight handful, I mean only like 3 or 4 of us, that seem to have an issue with these brake pads squeaking, in which case it may be a one-off issue where maybe during the manufacturing something went wrong and the 3 or 4 of us were just the lucky ones who got them. Also, I can tell you that they are not a track pad. As I said, I did have this out on the track and they failed within the first 10 minutes of going around streets of Willow. Now, Chris did say these are not a track pad. These are for street use only, so that's kind of on me. So if you do get these pads and you're thinking about doing track days, you're gonna have to pick up a second set of pads just for running on the track. Also, when I bought this particular kit, I got kind of lucky. It was around Christmas time and Chris was running a special deal where he gave me steel braided brake lines for free. And of course I had to install them. And that's the one modification that I'm just kind of like, I don't think I would do that again. The reason why is the stock brake lines on the GTR are actually very, very good. They're routed in a very particular way, they're braced down, and the majority of the brake lines are steel. There's only small segments of rubber, so there's not a lot of room for there to be flex. So when I installed the steel braided brake lines, I really didn't notice any difference in brake performance or even the brake system feel. Not only that, but I ran into a slight issue. Now, there are some braces that come with the steel braided brake lines, and I thought I routed them well, but over time, the one on this driver's side kind of wiggled and moved itself to the point that the steel braided brake line made the slightest contact with my CV axle boot and wore a hole in it. So now I got to replace the CV axle boot. So I definitely got to say, the steel braided brake line's not really worth it. Am I going to take them off? No, it's kind of cool that they're on there. But if you're thinking about getting them, unless you have the situation where I do where they came free, it's not something I would do. The next part I want to talk about is one that you've probably been, well, staring at since the beginning of the video because it kind of stands out, and that is these fenders. I mean, obviously they're just primered black, they're not paint matched with the rest of the car, and you may be wondering what's going on there. Basically for me, I absolutely love the way the Nismo edition of the GTR looks, and I'm slowly converting the car to the Nismo kind of body style, as if the wing wasn't a dead giveaway, and I'll talk about the wing a little bit later. This right here is a full replacement fender made of fiber reinforced polymer. That's right, I did not cut the stock fenders. I got a full replacement piece. Now, if you ever hear the term fiber reinforced polymer, that's just somebody trying to make their piece sound more fancy. It's just fiberglass. Don't let them make it sound like it's something greater than that. It's just regular fiberglass. Now, I got these fenders for about $1,200 from a guy named Yachtman on eBay. Now you might be thinking, ugh, eBay, are you nuts? And to be honest, typically, yeah. But this guy actually came highly recommended from other GTR owners that had ordered parts from him in the past. So I felt very comfortable getting these pieces. And as you can see, it is actually got some really good fitment. I was really surprised. I mean, usually I've done body kits in the past and I've had to do some cutting, some grinding, and a whole bunch of sanding because nothing really fit right. These actually bolted right on. All I had to do was drill out the holes for the bolts and it went right on without much of an issue. Now that being said, there is one fitment issue. The other side is perfectly fine, but this one, this line right here does not perfectly match up with the headlight. But I gotta admit, there could be a lot more issues with this fender than that. Not only that, but these fenders came with a beautiful set of full carbon fiber vents that go in this hole that give it the Nismo look. I mean, those suckers are absolutely flawless. I just didn't bring them with me today. So I definitely gotta say, this I think was a good install, especially for the money. And once I get it painted and everything matches, it's gonna look perfectly normal. Since we're up front talking about cosmetic mods, let's talk about another mod that I'm actually very, very happy with, and that is these blinkers right here. Now, for those of you that are aware, here in the US, we have a very obnoxious kind of amber orange blinker that sits right here, and it's very kind of distracting from the rest of the front of the car and kind of breaks up some of the body lines. So fortunately, on Amazon, for about 60 or 70 bucks, you can get a set of these. And I think they look much, much better. They look a little bit more modern. This one particularly has a smoked lens, so it blends into the color of my car a little bit better. So it just has a better overall look, and it has this kind of cool little aggressive bulge right here. Not only that, but I think it throws more light than the stock one. At night when I have the headlights on, right here, it is a nice bright white LED. And then if I turn on my turn indicator, this is a nice bright orange that I think a lot of people can see better, especially during the day. Now, as a heads up, if you decide you want to get these for your car, when you buy them, they are wired a little backwards in that when you turn on your running lights, the yellow turns on. When you turn on your blinker, the white one turns on. Fortunately, it is a very easy fix. All you have to do is swap the hot wires. If you want these for your car, just go ahead and check out my video where I did the install. I walk you through all the wiring. It's super easy, just about anyone can do it. And like I said, for about $60, I'm very happy with these. The next modification I want to talk about is one that actually was not very expensive and I'm actually pretty happy with. And that is this center console right here. For those of you that know the GTR well, you know typically this is kind of a gray painted plastic. But for me, I kind of wanted to make the interior come together a little bit more. And given that both the AC controller here and the stereo here were carbon fiber, I thought the interior would look a lot better if this was carbon fiber to match. So what I did was I picked up about a $10 roll of carbon fiber vinyl wrap and about another $10 worth of vinyl using tools, and I carbon fiber wrapped this myself. And I've got to admit, it looks pretty darn good. And now I did have to do it twice. There was some trial and error, but all in all, I'm very happy with this. For a while, I was worried that given the weather in California, that over time this would start to peel up or bubble or have issues. But this week we've had a couple of 100-degree days and this sucker looks as good as the day I wrapped it. So this is definitely something I'd recommend that if you're considering doing it, do it yourself. It's only about 20 bucks. And in the future, if you don't like it, it's completely reversible. You can just peel this right off and return it to stock with absolutely no issues. The last modification I want to talk about when it comes to this car is the one I did most recently, and that is this Nismo style wing. Now, if you're like me, you absolutely love the Nismo style, but you know, you really can't justify dropping 14 grand on a wing because that's what Nissan charges for it. So you're probably gonna be looking for a Nismo style wing. This one is made by CT Carbon and it cost me about $1,200 to my door. And for the most part, I'm pretty darn happy with it. To begin with, unlike some other companies, this one is full carbon fiber. Some other companies that want to do it on the cheap will actually make it out of fiberglass and then just put carbon fiber over it. The other thing too is, unlike some other companies that'll just buy the wing from China and sell it under their label or buy a secondhand mold, apparently CT Carbon claims that they did the 3D scannings on this wing themselves, so it's their own design. I can also tell you too that if you're looking at one of these wings from another party, you do have to be careful because there are horror stories of some of these cheaper wings where at high speeds this wing just completely rips off the car or it bends and flexes and has all sorts of issues. I can tell you that I have had this wing up to 80 miles an hour with absolutely no issues, no bending and flexing. And I've actually spoken to other people that own this wing. They've had it up over 180 miles an hour with absolutely no issues. So for the most part, I am very happy with this wing. However, it's not perfect. It does have some issues, and that is this centerpiece right here. The issue is this trunk is naturally curved from the factory, but the bottom of this is perfectly flat. And what that does is it makes it so this piece only makes contact with the center part of the trunk, and it's got gaps on either side. This also causes an issue in the front too, where it's also curved, but because of the way the trunk is designed, it doesn't line up with the wing, kind of sits up with a step and doesn't look quite right. Now you might be thinking one of two things, like, well, then I don't want it because it's crap, or two, I'll just get it and I won't worry about the centerpiece. However, that's not the end of the story. As soon as I had this issue, I contacted CT Carbon and I started talking to them about the issues. I sent them pictures and they're willing to update their molds. In fact, today I'm supposed to take measurements on my trunk as specific parts and send it to them, and they will update their piece. So hopefully on the next run of this wing, if you decide to order it from your car, this center part will fit perfectly and I will have no complaints. And there it is, a full review of all of the aftermarket parts I've installed on this R35 GTR. Now you might be sitting there thinking, well, wait a minute, all he really talked about was cosmetic upgrades. He didn't talk about anything that makes the car faster. And the reason for that is two things. One, when I bought the car, it did have some performance parts on it in the form of that it had an HKS Y pipe and a MAP catback exhaust system. The reason why I didn't talk about it during the video was, well, I didn't drive the car with the stock exhaust. So I really can't comment as to whether or not it made the car any faster or how much louder it made it or if the tone was better. So I really can't say whether or not those parts are worth the money he spent. The second reason is actually I'm kind of keeping the car a little bit stock for a while. And the reason for this was back in January, I actually took this car out on the track. I went to Streets of Willow, which is kind of a tight circuit street course, and I realized that the power and potential of this car outstripped my driver ability. So making it faster wouldn't actually help me. What's gonna help me is I do plan on doing more street time so I can become a better driver, so when I do make this car faster, I can realize all of that potential. However, that being said, I am a wrench tuner, I am talking right now, and I'm sure sooner or later I'm gonna be like, you know what, I still wanna go FBO, and I'll start dropping money on like the fuel pumps, the injectors, and an EcoTech because I just can't help myself. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go hit that thumbs up button to let me know. It does help the channel out a lot. As I did say at the beginning of the video, if you'd like to see more automotive, particularly GTR content in the future, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you did see any item in this video that you would like to do to your car, I will have a list in the description down below of every aftermarket part I talked about, along with links to where you can go. If you decide you want it for your car, all you have to do is click, it'll take you, and you can buy it. If you have any questions or you feel there's anything I've missed in this video, go ahead and post in the comment section down below. I will respond to you. I thank you all for watching, and until next time, forget everything else, focus on the finish line.